Hello and welcome to live action on the 22nd and final day of play in the Barclays Women's Super League. Coming to you from the new home of the now deposed champions, who need to win today, and hope Arsenal don't. They're playing Manchester United. The season really has rather fizzled out after such promise, but it has been great in its own way. Just run out of legs. Before and since her arrival, that one can only describe this season as a bit of a disappointment, out of contention in the Big Two. Just the League Cup, and they beat Manchester United in that final. And now the two meet at Stamford Bridge, which will be hosting Chelsea games all the time from next season. This is what the picture looks like. Everybody has one to play, except Leicester City, of course, who'll be playing off next weekend. Manchester United can only finish fourth. Chelsea have to win this and hope that Arsenal don't even get a draw in their game against Liverpool because of the superior goal difference that the Gunners have. And it is significant, the difference of second and third, quite apart from pride. There's a lot of European qualification that would have to happen for the club that finishes third. It is more than likely going to be Chelsea, but they have to win here and see. So Liverpool, Arsenal is the other one. London City, they finished their first season up at home to Villa. West Ham play the champions, Manchester City. Everton against Leicester, with Leicester having to play off against Charlton next week. And at the top there, Brighton, who finished the season very well, doing some good things. They are up against Tottenham Hotspur, another team who've been on the up. Now, ahead of kick-off here, let's hear from both the coaches.
Sonia, back at Stamford Bridge. First of all, this is the start of a new journey for next season where you'll be playing all of your home games here. So how nice is it to round off this season here at your new home?
Yeah, it's always nice to play at Stamford Bridge. We love this stadium. Fans are coming, and it's the final day of the season. We want to make sure at the end we get the win and we celebrate with special things to celebrate today.
We've reached the end of the season, but you'd love to end with a win, wouldn't you? Chelsea have been a thorn in your side at times this season, so it'd be nice to get one over on.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, we talk about that. You know, Chelsea have built with a title-winning team for many, many years, so we're trying to chase that. Of course we are. But they're a very good team, and you know they have to. If they win today and Arsenal lose, that they finish in second, which the qualification for Champions League slightly adjusts at that point. So they've got everything to play for. But what I've asked our players to do is whenever we represent Manchester United in this jersey, you give absolutely everything. And so today, one more time this season, I'm going to ask for that.
A few weeks ago, you said that you had one goal, which was to get a Champions League spot. You've done that, but there's still one step further you can go. How determined are you to get that job done today?
Yeah, as you just mentioned, really important game for us. I think the second place is still possible. We need to make sure we win the game. We'll see what is the Arsenal result. But for us, the only thing we can control is making sure we win, and we'll see what happens. But it's a big difference between finishing third and second. So we need to aim to finish second, and we'll see. Winning the game will help, but we'll see again what happens in the other game.
Over the last few years, you've spoken about this side growing and developing, whether that's existing players or new players that you've brought in. It's been a long season. There have been a lot of competitions, but this is something that Manchester United will want to continue to do, and these players will have to get used to playing the amount of games that they've played this year.
Absolutely. And it's a big learning curve for everyone this year. Managing the quick turnarounds, the information, the next game, the different challenge, all the physicalities of that. It's been a really challenging season, but in a one where it will help us to grow for sure. Like the players have tasted what we want to experience going forwards, and although we won't sit in Champions League next year, our aim is to then push on the year after to be able to get back into that and do that because our players are hungry for it. And so again, I want to see that today. We know how tough Chelsea are, but we want to compete today. And yeah, as I say, try and take the 3 points.
Well, no question, European football has been the big plus of this season for Mark Skinner and United. It's also been the reason that they have run out of steam and won't be returning to it later this year. He has an unenviable record when it comes to playing Chelsea. Just one FA Cup semi-final victory. Never a league win, despite plenty of good performances. He would love to finish it this season with one today. United will be finishing fourth, whatever. As we know, for Chelsea, there's quite a lot going on today. WSL appearance holder. 8 times a league winner, 10 by now. Retired entirely from football just a couple of weeks ago. 2 of the biggest names in the game, neither quite hoped for. That campaign ends at the bridge. A few weeks ago, this looked like being a real 6-pointer, a playoff for a European place, potentially. That's what we all thought, but as it turns out, United's heavy workload has taken its toll. And on the final day of play in the... with a fair few farewells in the offing as well. Quick check on the teams here. Final game in Chelsea blue for Sam Kerr, so often United's tormentor. And yes, she's just 1 goal behind Fran Kirby in the all-time Chelsea mark. This team, exactly as it was to kick off the semi-final defeat here to Manchester City in the FA Cup. Lauren James up there in support of Sam Kerr, once of Manchester United, Lauren James. Well, Man U, underpinned by the amazing attendance record of Maya Letizia and Hinata Minazawa. The one change to their 11 from last time out comes in attack, with Jess Park replaced by Ellen Vangerheim. And how Mark Skinner would love to have had a bit more of Ella Toon and Anna Sandberg than he has this season. They've got quite a few players United who've just been knocking on the door for fitness with only a couple of weeks to go. Former Premier League goalkeeper Asmir Begovic is with me for this one. It's been a kind of not quite season for both of these two, Asmir, but a big stage for 2 big names to finalise their season on.
Absolutely. Really excited to be with you today. Thanks for having me, and excited for the last day of the WSL season.
What are we going to see? Usually when these two come together, Chelsea find a way to win, even if they aren't necessarily playing at their best, and that kind of has been the case this term, for sure. The head-to-head is ludicrously one-sided. But quite often we get a situation where somebody needs a win on... It wasn't decided on the final day, and of course that is the... Chelsea and England's superstar, formerly of Manchester United. And there is Maya Letizia. I think she deserves a special mention, Asmir. 41 matches in all competitions for Man U this season they've had. She's played every single minute of every single one of them.
It's a fantastic feat. I think when you look at the extra workload for them this year, I think for all the players, with more teams joining the Barclays Women's Super League next year, it's going to be great for them to get this kind of taste of having to play more of these games. And I think for her to really stick it out this year and play so many games, play every single minute, is absolutely incredible.
I should be marking Sam Kerr, who loves a goal against Man United. Her very first Chelsea goal was FA Cup final goals against them. 1-1-5 she is on. Fran Kirby, 1-1-6. Lauren James immediately dropping deep. Kadisha Buchanan a little bit loose. Hannah Hampton has good feet, and she's just sliced that one out because I said that. Perfect timing. Anna Sandberg just back to fitness here, the left back. Great goal she scored in the reverse fixture. That was 1-1. There's a little spell around the autumn where Chelsea went in front 3 games in a row, in fact, 4 if you count Barcelona in the Champions League. But Man United, Arsenal and Liverpool, Chelsea went 1 up, and they were pegged back for a 1-1 full-time score in all 3 of them, and that is where they just dropped off the pace. Defending to do here as Vangerheim comes forward, and Kadisha Buchanan is strong and wins the free kick.
It's been a bright start for Man United, I think. Been getting the ball forward, putting Chelsea in trouble in the first couple of minutes here.
Solid stuff from the Canadian defender there, and only just come back from a long time out with the dreaded ACL injury, and given the warrior that Millie Bright has been, kind of great timing to have Kadisha Buchanan back and available in as much as it's possible to fill those boots. Chelsea have that. Viola Berman here, young defender, undoubted success story this season for Chelsea. Played more than I think even she would have thought, as it's turned out, with various injuries. It's done very well. Good ball that, between the lines. Buchanan finding Nuskin, cut out by Gabby George. Lauren James in that floating around, free roll, doing what she does. Very comfortable on the ball. Carpenter, quick, strong runner. And she's got there, and she's kept it in. Gabby George cuts it out. Just noticing, it looks actually like Vangerheim's playing up top and Mallard on the right wing for Manchester United here.
And Lauren James is floating around, really the classic number 10 position. You see that she likes to take and gets on the ball, even if she has to go a little bit deeper. And you always want players like that on your team. Players always willing to get the ball, trying to make things happen.
Very much relied upon in that role by her. Sonia Bonpastor. You use this term advice, but at first, well, I'm gonna use the word relative failure of the season for Sonia Bonpastor, who just won everything with Lyon and obviously came to Chelsea last year. Okay, missed out on Europe, but won all 3 domestic competitions without losing a single game. So it's quite a drop-off, isn't it, this year, Asmir, for her and her side?
It is, and I think it's something she's going to use as a big learning experience for herself. Maybe look at herself in a different light and reflect at the end of the season what can be done differently going forward. I think there's a lot of players. I think as a coach, as a manager, you certainly always evolve. So for her, she'll look at it that way, and seeing how she can improve over the summer and be back to the standards that Chelsea will probably expect next season.
It wasn't on contact, that Riviere, maybe a calf muscle or Achilles or something there, but yeah, to have, inverted commas, just the League Cup for Chelsea, as we know. Used to winning the league 6 in a row till this one. And in a season of some injuries, I wonder if Mark Skinner might be getting a final one on the final day here.
The non-contact injuries never look great, so yeah, we've got a substitution ready.
Well, that is an early bloke. Hannah Lundqvist coming soon. They've got Janssen back on the bench. Not far off being at full whack, and Mark Skinner will think, yeah, great, thanks for that on the final day. But obviously he's missed Ella Toon for loads of this season. Looks like a very disappointing early end of season for Jade Riviere. Regular at right back, the Canadian. But, a shame to finish like that. And it will be Hannah Lundqvist, who arrived in the January window on a free. I'm guessing a pulled calf muscle?
Looks something that way. I mean, definitely non-contact, so it's got to be something. Something can happen early in the game. I mean, you know, you warm up, you go back in the dressing room, you cool down, and, you know, you've got to get ramped up right away once again, and sometimes these things can happen early in the game.
Nuskin nodding it down. Sam Kerr. There's a roar, and Gabby George just did enough, and Tullis Joyce was there to collect, and there's thank you for shepherding that back to me. For Ella Toon, groin injury, missing from just before Christmas till, well, just a couple of weeks ago she returned. One of a few England favourites that are out there. Something popped, according to Jade Riviere, as she went down the tunnel. It's Rolfo. Not quite hit the heights might have expected from the former Barcelona player, Freda Rolfo, in her first season. And basically, the first two-thirds of this campaign, Man United were fantastic, and they've just run out of juice. The extra time FA Cup defeat to Chelsea. They'd won 8 in a row before that, now they've won 1 of the 9 since. Brilliant from Erin Cuthbert, typical of her, sniffing out danger and beloved in these parts. Neat little ball back to Alyssa Thompson as well, who we know has pace, but not the passing on that occasion. He's behind you. Lauren James caught out Dominic Janssen, most unlike her terrible error early on in the League Cup final. And Manchester United never really got going after that. A gift of a goal for Lauren James. She's good enough without help. Where do you stand on the playing out from the back, Asmit?
Well, as a goalkeeper, I think you always have to manage the risk, and I'm all for it if everyone's on board. And you see both teams here, possession-based teams, centre halves, full-backs, everyone's giving a goalkeeper an option. So I think if you're on the same page, I'm all for it. It's when you get kind of mixed signals where it can cause a lot of issues. But if you're on the same page, I can see the benefits of it, and you know, you obviously need the players as well. You've seen both goalkeepers here today, very comfortable with their feet, so they can make it happen.
Good first season for Ellie Carpenter, Aussie right back. Began with a fine performance here against Man City on the opening night. Little did we know that Man City would then go and win every single game for the next 4 months. Drop-off did happen a little bit to Manchester United last season. They didn't win any of their final 4 in that, but it is unusual, a 41-game season. There'll be some WSL clubs who'll only play 25 all in. Thompson, chased by Sandberg, who stuck with her really, really well because she's quick.
Really good defending, strong defending.
Be more games for everyone, of course, next term. Expansion, an extra 4. So it'll be a 26-game league campaign rather than 22. It's got to be good news. Vangerheim into Toon. And a rare touch here for Melvin Mallard. And that is composed defending, and then Nuskin gets in a bit of a pickle. Mallard smashes it. Determined not to lump it clear there, Chelsea, and it nearly cost them, hasn't it?
Well, we talk about possession and teams who are doing all possession, but I think there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes the best option is to clear your lines, and I think this would have been a better option for the Chelsea defenders to clear the ball and then, you know, clear the danger and actually get the team up the pitch, whereas actually now the way they've tried to do this has caused themselves more problem.
Melvin Mallard came through at Lyon under Sonia Bonpastor when she was winning everything there, young forward. Sandberg to take the United corner here, and they're massing around the penalty spot, ready to make their move. It's a good ball, well dealt with actually by both centre-backs in the end, I think. Buchanan first and Boerman second. Well, pretty even stuff without too much for the keepers to do so far. Mallard on a mazy run, Boerman with another important challenge.
You can certainly see from the Man United side, Mallard's the one that's trying to get on the ball. She's the one definitely trying to make things happen so far for the Man United team.
Yeah, Jess Park only on the bench. Ella Toon always a creative force as well. Yeah, absolutely, Mallard looks... Now she's got involved. Dangerous. Hannah Hampton was an outfielder till a relatively old age, if you know what I mean, in her footballing development, so she's comfortable in these situations generally. And I'm going to stop saying that, because now that's happened twice.
No, I mean, I think if you look at Hannah Hampton's range of passing, it's always fantastic. What Man United are doing really well, they're not going high pressing, they're not going chasing anything, which I think actually gives Hannah Hampton less options. Sometimes you want those defenders to come press and open up something. She's trying to find different passes, maybe they're not on, so I think she's trying a little bit too much at times.
Boerman, one of the heirs to the throne of Millie Bright, with the sliding challenge there. 88 caps for England as well, and a serious collection of medals. Wear a Chelsea shirt. Might be. Be an interesting move away from the Kingsmeadow home as well. As Mayor mentioned, a lot of change at Chelsea on and off the field, and indeed the field itself. But the Kingsmeadow record's so strong. It's a different feel, obviously. A lot more people can get in this stadium. But lost here to Arsenal already this season. Lost last weekend 2-0 up and lost 3-2 after extra time to Manchester City, so that's another trophy that slipped from the grasp.
It's very unlike Chelsea as well, the way they performed over the last few years. A 2-0 lead, you expect it to be safe, and unfortunately it wasn't last week.
It's towards the end of last season, Chelsea were 2 up and drew 2 each with West Ham. That was the first time even that had happened for 7 years. So to then go one step further and lose, huge surprise. Here comes Letitia. Lundqvist and Van Gaal, the 2 January recruits, combining there. Mallard. Neat and tidy. What's on the end of it? Well, it seemed to open up for the left-footed shot, and Lundqvist hit it, and it hit Rolfo. And we'll never know where that was going. Maybe it was fairly central on second viewing there.
I think Hampton had it covered if it was if it was on target. But fair play to Lundqvist, you know, coming in, trying to be aggressive, cutting on her left foot and giving it a go. You never know what happens once you shoot, you know. And unfortunately, her own teammates got in the way.
Arsenal and Liverpool still goalless as well. Remember, all the games on the final day at the same time, as it should be. Jade Rose has scored for Manchester City. Well, they're going to put the gloss on something that's already pretty glossy, let's be honest. But even an Arsenal draw in that game means they will finish second, even if Chelsea win this. They've actually rather cancelled one another out. It's been a quieter match between these two than it usually is.
I think it's important for Chelsea to take care of their own business today, and as much as they're looking at other results in Arsenal, it's for them to try and finish the season off in the best possible way, on a positive note at Stamford Bridge, and take some sort of positive into the summer.
Yeah, make a statement as well, you know, to get more fans coming week to week now that the announcement has been made that all the home games will be played here. Niamh Charles with the throw. And Nuskin couldn't help herself. There's that very modern free kick, Asmi. Just get your body in the way, put the brakes on.
We have to say credit to Mark Skinner. I think we know he's a very pragmatic manager who's one of the best managers in the women's game, and I think he's got his team very organized. 4-4-2, disciplined. Their movements, their pressing triggers look very, very organized, and it's very difficult for Chelsea to break through.
Yeah, 5th season in charge. That's pretty long serving by any standards, isn't it, in modern football? Progress for sure, given the first proper run in the Champions League. Well, Lauren James is in here. She was strong enough, and Valentellis Joyce has done enough.
Top save, really good patience. You assessed the touch from Lauren James, which was obviously a bit fortunate to find herself in that position. Stays, makes herself big, and makes a very good save.
Yeah, the slow-mo isn't going to do it justice there. There was some power behind that. Scored a hat-trick here against Manchester United before now. Joyce came with the fist, got something on it. James again.
Fantastic goalkeeping once again by Tullis Joyce, very commanding. Made an early decision to punch. Good connection on the ball and clears the lines.
And that's a lovely weight of pass for Melvin Mallard here. This game's just opening up midway through the first half, and Mallard finds the top of the net rather than the back of it, but it wasn't far away. Good break.
Wasn't far away at all. Great transition moment for Man United. And Mallard's the one we've said. She's the one that's looking to make things happen for Man United. And again, really takes the ball in her stride, cuts in a very good strike, just unlucky, slightly over.
10 goals in all competitions for Melvin Mallard this term, 6 of them in the BWSL. Sandberg, just one Manchester United goal, and it was a beauty in the 1-1 draw between these two back in the autumn. It was an equalising goal, and 1-1 it stayed. One of 2 draws in their back catalogue between them, and 10 Chelsea wins. Can Mark Skinner get over that hoodoo? Another lovely way to pass for Mallard, who's strong enough to get past Niamh Charles. And still, and that's a really disappointing pullback, because she had time to pick a player out there as Ziggy Otti goes for some sort of outside of the foot curler. That could only be Lauren James doing that. Or her brother, actually. Kersley off for Thompson. Past Gabby George. I just wonder if a card might be coming out here. Yeah, it is. Yellow for Gabby George. Alyssa Thompson is too quick for many a defender.
Yeah, good decision by the referee. I think that's a clear yellow card. And a good tactical foul as well, I have to say, by George, because if Alyssa Thompson goes any further, she's causing a lot more issues, so I think it's a very good tactical foul.
She's missed so much of her time with United since moving from Everton a few years back. Still in and out, but far more in than previously out. Viola Berman been entrusted with the free kick here. Turned 20 a couple of weeks ago, an undoubted success story for Chelsea this term. I'm noting Sam Kerr, fairly dangerous goal scorer, loitering round the back here. And Maya Letitia is telling Melvin Mallard to take care of her. A little bit floaty, that one. Justina Blackstenius has put Arsenal in front at Liverpool as Lauren James goes for the trademark curler.
Lauren James trying to make things happen, getting on the ball again. A little bit of a deeper position, cuts in, tries to bend a far corner, but I think very comfortable. Charles Joyce always very comfortable with that situation, had it covered.
Couple of crackers at the King Power the other day for Lauren James. Sort of come towards the end of the campaign, most of them actually. Obviously some very pretty ones, as you would expect from Lauren James. Tends to have her own goal of the season competition most years. That Blackstenius goal that has Arsenal in front there. As you can see, nothing Chelsea will be able to do about that. Rolfo's been quiet. She gives it to Toon, who gives it back to Carpenter, who gives it back to Ella Toon. just one Chelsea win, and it was on the opening night against the respective title rivals this term. And in her first season in charge, Bonpastor watched her side win all 6 in that head-to-head. Home and away against Arsenal, United and City. Well, it's 1 win out of 5 plus whatever happens here. And that is enough to make the difference. Here comes Ellie Carpenter. And that's awkward. It's nearly all the way in. I think that got a fingertip touch on the way through. But I'll check with my goalkeeping specialist beside me.
She definitely got a touch, Ben. Thank you, of course. But that's the old shot cross, unexpected. Could go absolutely anywhere. So we'll always catch a goalkeeper off guard.
Laura James, as usual, holding off the challenges. Cuthbert to Carpenter again. Kerr makes a move. And Gabby George went with her and got an important touch.
Well, she'll never admit it, but I know definitely it was that can't be a meant shot. He didn't do it on purpose, so I think it's one of those crosses that goes slightly wrong. But it's a good batten, and almost caught Taylor Joyce out of position there. Yeah, I would. With and lucky on that one, it's hit the post.
You can't ever presume that that can happen, can you? Be in the wrong position. Berman's corner, that's deep. Kerr around the back, just beaten to it by Rolfo, and Melvin Mallard had a little look up there to see what, if anything, was possible on any kind of counter-attack. There's a bit of space in the middle of the park here, though. Chelsea a little slack in getting back. Nothing slack about Miyazawa here. Her midfield partner, Zigiotti. And ahead of them, Ella Toon, Van Gaheim and Mallard, and just got a bit too tight and intricate there. Miyazawa here, missed 3 games. She was on international duty at the Asia Cup and was missed, literally, as well. Has played all the other 37 before this. Not quite every minute like Letitia, but not far off. Confidently done by Mallard. Sandberg, they weren't tight there, into Van Gaheim. Where's that going to drop? Rolfo. And Kadisha Buchanan gets away with one there.
Good defending by Buchanan in the end, I would say. I think always a difficult position when a defender's running towards their own goal. So good defending in the end, got away with it, but made her own luck in that one.
Just feels like it's opening out a little, I think.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit of a cagey start, I would say, definitely. I think both teams feeling each other out. But definitely the game's opening up a little bit more as the first half's gone on.
Niamh Charles seems to have won back the battle for the left-back spot more often than not. Sandy Baltimore definitely seemed to have it last season, and to begin with this. Toon. Into Rolfo. But Erin Cuthbert eating up the ground and winning it back. Not many do it better than her, if any. There.
But that's the position we want to see Lauren James in. You know, one thing I really like my number 10 going a little bit deeper to to get the ball, it's all good and fine, but actually I think where Lauren James can really make the big impact on the game is higher up the pitch. So you want to get her in those one-on-one situations higher up the pitch where she can cause a lot of damage and provide the goods for her team.
And she may flick-flack a bit with Alyssa Thompson. Obviously more likely to come in field than Thompson is. But given that Cannerud, who's on the bench, is in that equation too, that's real pace for sure. Very tidily done by Charles.
Chelsea players very happy to keep possession at all times, even if it means going back. I do wonder if they got the news of the Arsenal game and the score there, because it will maybe give them a little bit more urgency as time will go on here to try and get the win and just look a little bit more forward. Man United haven't been too shy of trying to maybe go a little bit more direct at times, whereas Chelsea are very comfortable in keeping possession whenever they can.
Well, one or two went with the press there, but it's got to be everyone, or the pass is easy into Walsh, which is what has enabled Chelsea to get up the field here. Now suddenly attacking down the right with Carpenter. Rolf. Cuthbert, Thompson with the little flick, nearly worked for Nusken. James. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! What a finish and what a milestone! Chelsea goal number 116 for the great Sam Kerr. And her farewell appearance, what a goal!
Well, this is the goal of the absolute highest order, and the two, top players for Chelsea. What we say about Lauren inside the box, and that's where she can cause a lot of damage. An unbelievable ball into the box for Sam Kerr, and she's not the record goal scorer. Time for the record now for no reason. She knows the movements. She starts behind the defender Maya Letitia and then sneaks up in front of her, and that is an incredible finish. No chance for the goalkeeper.
And Tullis Joyce has done pretty well to even get a fingertip on it. Snuck round the back. That is a tough technique. I reckon the vast majority of those, even for good finishers, go somewhere else up above the shed.
No, absolutely, and I think, again, credit that ball from Lauren James, because that's a ball. It's just like it's wanting to be scored and get on the end of. And Sam Kerr, that's what she does. That's what she's done for many, many years, and an incredible finish.
And yet again scoring against Man United. She's done it on the final day before against them to help win a league title. Done it at Wembley to win a FA Cup final. Her first ever Chelsea goal in her first part season. That was against them as well.
And credit to Sam Kerr. We haven't seen her much in the first 35 minutes or so, have we? And that's the Predator, that's the number 9, who they just need one chance and they come alive in that box. That's exactly what she did.
Well, we shall see who is leading the line for Chelsea next term. Myra Ramirez, having missed all season, is on the bench today. And there are many noises about you-know-who up at the title winners Manchester City. James comes forward again, Thompson, and then Nusken, and it's a slice.
Lauren James, once again, making things happen. I think she's such an exciting player. One of the superstars of the BWSL. And again, making things happen, putting the ball in the right area for someone to get on the end of, and full credit to her. Unfortunately, the finish wasn't quite like Sam Kerr's earlier, but it's about trying to get these opportunities created.
Is there a sniff of a shoulder? Oh, I think there's a left foot of Maya Letitia there that's probably putting the shoulder on. Mark Skinner might be having a look at that on the replays, but that's not a battle worth fighting, to be honest. He'll probably call another margin call that might have gone against him in these various battles. Yeah.
I think that's onside in my book. What about yours, Ben?
Mariona Caldente has made it 2-0 to Arsenal at Liverpool, so it may not actually have any huge significance. Certainly individually it will. What a way to get to 1-1-6 though. Walsh, good weight. Carpenter got there, and Manchester United just for a moment having to cling on here. A few minutes before half-time. Referee sort of gave that as an afterthought, I think, because Lauren James was quite nice in stopping, but didn't have to.
No, it didn't have to. It didn't look like there was much in it for me from where we are. And actually, it's incredible. I think it's always sends a really powerful message to any team when one of your star players, attacking players, tracks back like that. And just for that endeavour alone, I think it wasn't a foul.
I'm saying good tackle there. Okay. Alessia Russo has made it 3-0. So I think that's nailed it. Arsenal, failing 4 Liverpool goals, are going to be finishing second and straight into the Champions League. And Chelsea, who so often never have to qualify, of course, because they always win the league. Not this summer. It's going to change the pre-season picture for sure. Thompson, who loves to get running, and Lundqvist will be worried here. And that's a pretty disappointing shot at the end of that.
Well, I've seen Alyssa Thompson now change flanks and coming off this left-hand side. And she does have that pace, she does have that power. Any defender's nightmare, really, when they're running at you at this sort of pace. And credit to her, very direct. Unfortunate with the finish. But again, you love to see the attacking intent.
Didn't really follow through with it. It's a stab. Maybe she thought the challenge was coming in, but 7 goals in the BWSL, and 1 more would give her double figures in her first Chelsea season, which is no bad thing in all competitions, for sure. And especially as not an out-and-out goal scorer, of course, more a wide attacker. But the goal count in general, by their own standards for Chelsea, has been down. It was actually down last year, but they kept enough clean sheets for that not to matter. But, yeah, 12 times this season, Chelsea have scored only once in a game. That is not where they were.
I think the loss of Amaya Ramirez for near enough the whole season is a loss any team's going to feel. Big striker like that, and I think big player for them.
Big crossfielder from Gabby George is not found. The target, final 5 of the first half at the bridge, and 1 very fine goal. Sam Kerr has the deposed champions in front. Since she came back to fitness, 17 and 30, pretty good. Sandberg, Elatoon, Miyazawa. Not an easy day at the office for Elatoon when Erin Cuthbert is patrolling that similar area. England versus Scotland in there. 6 shots to 4 all in. Hannah Hampton hasn't had enough work to do. That would be, I'm sure, Mark Skinner's minor complaint. Not one on target yet, as Lauren James dinks one over. It was a nice idea.
Lovely idea, and I think just general, I've seen a couple of frustrated faces from Manchester United. I think their forward play hasn't been on point in this first half, and you know, I think it's definitely something they need to improve, and they'll probably come out of their shell a little bit more as this game goes on. I think if you're one down, you have to, if you want to try and get a result in the game.
There are quite a few 1-0s for Sonia von Pastor last term. It's just been a little tweak, and it doesn't take much. But for this season, all 4 draws in the Barclays Women's Super League for Chelsea this term. They've been 1 up in all of them, and then pegged back to finish 1-1. Lundqvist on early for the injured Riviere. And look who's furthest back on the ball. I'll be right back now, says Lauren James.
Yeah, she does like to float around. I also think from Man United's approach, I'm quite fascinated with the way they're approaching it. Will they need, as the game goes on, maybe will they need those 2 holding midfielders? I think for me personally, maybe you can look to change there, maybe advance one of them a little bit, whether it's Miyazawa, Zigiotti, or make a change. I know away from home you like to be solid and compact, but just to give them a little bit more numbers in the attacking end.
Well, Jess Park is a real creative force for sure. Slightly surprised not in the 11. Maybe there's a niggle there we're not aware of. Eased out there by Buchanan to James, and she's off and running again. And looking for Kerr again. Thompson shown inside. This is worth a hit. Comfortable.
Very comfortable for Thomas Joyce. Good scoop from her. But again, I'm very impressed with Alyssa Thompson. She's such a direct little player. Very tricky, very speedy. Always looking to get an end product as well, and been very impressed.
Was the MVP at the She Believes Cup as the USA won that back. It's been a busy international season for plenty of these out here. The Asia Cup final, it was 18 of the 22 starters as Australia played Japan. 18 out of 22 were WSL regulars. Cuthbert, Carpenter, James popping up. Four added minutes at Stamford Bridge here. Feels just a shade flat. Maybe that news has come through about Arsenal, but I mean, when you set such high standards, to be finishing 3rd feels like a poor season, I guess. Kira Walsh down the right wing. Uncharted territory for her. Nushkin to Kerr. It's neat, but it's very congested in there. Someone find a gap. Kerr trying to, and didn't get the brilliant connection this time around.
She's always one to be reckoned with. Don't want to give her a yard of space. I think Sam Kerr in that 18-yard box, someone you have to keep an eye on at all times.
Didn't look like there would be that yard of space, but they worked it pretty neatly. Just found a momentary gap. Lundqvist looking for an option here. Needs some movement. Tell you what, she's pinched a good 10 yards there. Very clever.
The dark arts of football, right?
Looking for her 60th win. 9 draws and 8 defeats. It's pretty good, but it's standard for Sonia Bonpastor because that's all she's known, really. The numbers were similarly dominant at Lyon.
And I think Sonia Bonpastor can be relatively pleased with his first half. I think they've controlled most of the game, possession, probably had the better chances as well, I would say. So I think not a bad way to play in this first half.
Maybe just something to see out here. No question. Yeah, they've had the shots on target and the opportunities. Maybe a late twist here, defending for Chelsea to do to get into the break with that lead intact. Sandberg's left or Toon's right. It's the latter. That looks too close to Hannah Hampton, but she suddenly had some company there, didn't take it cleanly, and that could have gone awry. Ref, she says, does she have a case?
I think she has a case. I think for Hannah Hampton, if you look back on it, so much traffic, I think you go and punch that ball. We saw it earlier with Tullis Joyce. She made an incredibly decisive, really good early decision, got rid of the ball, punched the ball away out of danger. I think sometimes can be very, very difficult. I don't think this is a foul, to be honest with you. And I think if you look at it retrospectively, and again, nice early punch, a lot of bodies in the way, and you clear your lines.
I expected you to say definitely a foul. That's very impressive.
I'm a very, neutral. I'll call it how it is, right? Shall we say, Ben?
Carpenter, final seconds, a check of the watch there. Hannah Hampton will expect to have more work to do, I think, in the second half. Manchester United have not threatened much. Bonpastor's Blues certainly have, and one absolutely stunning goal. The difference here as they go in for the final half-time of the campaign. Lauren James has been Lauren James, and a great ball in. And a wonderful finish from Sam Kerr on her Blues farewell. The half-time score at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0. Right, so we're ready to go with the final half. And then some downtime. Anna Sandberg is the player who's been replaced by Jess Park here. That's an interesting one from Mark Skinner, because Jess Park's not going to be playing left-back, I'll tell you that much. It's an attacking change. Jess Park has had a pretty good first season, having crossed the Manchester divide. Fridolina Rolfo often played left-back, if you can call it that, for Barcelona. Left side, generally, anyway. So she'll slot back a space and Park in to help the attack, because Manchester United need the goal, Asmir Begovic.
They certainly do. We talked earlier a little bit about who can actually come and make a bit of a difference for Man United, and whether they needed all those holding midfielders, and I think they were playing it quite safe at certain times, but a really positive change for Man United, and they need a goal. They need a bit more tempo, everything to their attacking play, and I think this would be a really good change for them.
She's had a season in keeping with United's, really. She hasn't scored since they have not been winning. The only victory in this in the last 9 for Manchester United was at Mallard in stoppage time, 2-1 against Everton. And here is Jess Park on the ball. A couple of goals for England against Ukraine in March. Fine performance there from Jess Park. Back-to-back goals for United against Atletico Madrid and London City in the middle of February. Those were her last Man U goals, amongst her 9 across the various competitions. We know these two have played more than most. The difference is Chelsea's squad is used to that. Chelsea's squad is bigger. 37th game for Chelsea. 41 for Man United, and there is Jess Park. She swapped blue for red. Grace Clinton went the other way. It's a half-hearted squeeze coming there. It's got to be everyone going, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think anything you do in football, whether it's a lower block, a higher press, whatever you do, I think if you do it together as a unit, then you're going to be a lot stronger. I think once teams get a little bit disjointed, it becomes a lot more difficult to kind of achieve your goal, what you're trying to do.
Park getting plenty of touches since coming on, but she wants to have them in the final third up the other end. Struggled to get Van Gaheim into the game.
They really have, actually, haven't they? I think she came into this game, and I think we were looking at her as being a bit of a focal point up front for Man United, and she hasn't been able to get into the game at all.
Zigiotti, maybe something here for Van Gaheim as Ella Toon finds Park. Van Gaheim is in the middle. Toon is joining her. There was a fleeting touch for Ellen Van Gaheim. Swede. Rolfo for Park, and Lauren James will just get in the way.
But Jess Park certainly is beginning on the ball. I think if you look at the first 3 minutes, second half, straight away trying to make things happen. You can always see it's a big sign when the teammates are looking for her. They're always looking to get the ball to her, like the one who's going to be able to make a difference, and she certainly made a difference already.
Mallard immediately faced up by Niamh Charles, nowhere to go there. Lundqvist backing herself, that's nicely done. Van Gaheim's just threaded that in between two colleagues, and it's back with Hampton, who I'd imagine would have expected a bit of a busier day at the office than she's had so far.
Very comfortable for Hannah Hampton so far. It's always nice when it's like that, and then the players in front of you doing a really, really good job, and I think Chelsea have been very sound defensively today.
That's interesting you say that. Did you like that, then, for it to be quiet? I mean, I'm not saying, obviously, you don't want the ball raining past you, but would you like to be involved a little more?
Honestly, the quieter, the better. That means we're doing a good job. The clean sheets get you results, obviously give you a really good base, so I think the quieter I am. I mean, my always goal is, for myself personally, is to try and make my defenders defend and do their job and keep play away from me. So if we can do that as a team, that usually means you're doing a good job.
Maybe something to do here as Ella Toon tries to slip it through for Van Gaheim. It's an important intervention from Berman. The danger remains. Jess Park into Van Gaheim and off the post. Well, still no work for Hannah Hampton. She was looking and hoping there, and her prayers were answered. Very nearly 1-1. Manchester United looking brighter, as they needed to.
Yeah, we talked about Mark Skin having to make some changes at half time and getting his team more aggressive, and Jess Park's been all key to that. Getting the ball to her as early as they can on that left-hand side. She's making things happen. A fantastic ball, and just very unlucky finish by Van Gaheim with her header going off the post.
So close to a first Manchester United goal. Zigiotti has Bowman for company. They've defended that calmly. Chelsea away by Niamh Charles. Some really neat football from Manchester United there. Nuskin letting Alyssa Thompson take over here.
Alyssa Thompson starting on the left-hand side. Again, for the second half, we know Lauren James the number 10 role, having a bit of a free roaming role, and you know, Alyssa Thompson definitely towards the end of the first half doing a lot of damage on the left-hand side.
James, head up and options. Ellie Carpenter's going to have to get back. Jess Park didn't fancy the race. Change coming in the Chelsea midfield shortly. Vika Kaptein is up and coming on. Apparently for Sjurken Nusken, who's just been given the slip neatly by Zigiotti there, is Ella Toon now. Manchester United, was that just a flash in the pan attack, or are they going to build a bit of sustained pressure here? Park making things happen already. It's a well-struck shot, but easily behind it, Hannah Hampton.
Certainly, I think we talked about this before the game, Ben. A little question mark as to why Jess Park didn't start the game, and she's been impactful, as you see here, with a massive chance. Puts the ball in the right area, and yeah, it's right there, waiting to be finished by the centre forward, and I think maybe taking a bit of a nick as well of the Chelsea defender, which has helped to get on the post, so super unlucky.
And indeed it is. Nusken off, Kaptein on. Another hard-working season comes to an end for the German, and the young Dutch midfielder in to replace her. Scored in the 1-1 against Manchester United. The Chelsea opener back in the autumn. Van Gaheim went early, pointing it to him behind. Toon's found Park, and Park's given it back to Ella Toon. Ella Toon could hit him from here. Berman's clearance almost fell for Melvin Mallard. Kaptein is there, just in the way and doing what she could. One or two shouts that it was illegal, but no. And Niamh Charles has won that. It looked fair and square. And off you go, Alyssa Thompson. James, her kind of range, just not her kind of finish.
Love the positivity, always trying to finish with an end product, and Lauren James, that gives it a go. Obviously the execution wasn't great, but good transition moment for Chelsea as well.
There's an arm, but not much of one.
No, that would have been a very harsh penalty. I mean, a lot of claims, we saw the claims earlier, and I think that would have been an incredibly harsh penalty.
A good campaign, Fallon Tullis-Joyce. Big gloves to fill, those of Mary Earps, a couple of years now, and been very good. Mallard into Toon. Park has just got the better of Niamh Charles, and again couldn't touch her there. Bit of disguise on that. Hampton is out, and did she have control of it? Lundqvist was up, and yeah, Let's just say Hannah Hampton wasn't very impressed.
She certainly wasn't. Very brave goalkeeping. Has gone in for 50-50 duel. Good starting position on the front foot, waiting for that through ball from Jess Park. And she was all over it. Again, you have to give the attacker the opportunity to go for the ball. There's nothing wrong with going for the ball. Her intention is to play the ball. But if you don't play the ball and play the man, then obviously becomes a foul.
I don't think she ever really had control of it, though, that's for sure. But absolutely, she got a bit of a clattering. It did go her way, the call. As Laetitia, not just this season, by the way. She's played all 22 league games, 6 seasons in a row. Whatever kind of fitness thing she's got going there, or musculoskeletal structure or something. I mean, that is just nuts to just never, ever be injured. It is incredible. And I know it's not like a championship season or something with 46 matches, but not far off for United this term. And it's been pinched. Kira Walsh, a little lax. Big moment for Ziggy Otti. She goes for the pass. Toon. And the moment has passed.
Well, what a moment for Manchester United. Exactly what they would have liked to do. Press, trigger, go together. And Ziggy Otti manages to get the ball. Takes it off Kira Walsh. And she's in. One-on-one. Continue with your run. Go into the box. Why she stopped so early, I don't quite know, because once you go in the box, the defender becomes a little bit more hesitant as well. Fouls can happen, anything can happen, so that's just that little bit of decision making which makes a difference.
I wonder if she didn't want to hit it on her left. It was kind of coming like it would have been a left foot shot. Might not be able to wrap the right around it, but you'd have thought a more single-minded type would never have been thinking about the pass there. The corner has been played short. Toon, who was well tracked actually by captains, that's why she was charged down. Nodded back in there by Laetitia and by Van Gaheim. And anywhere will do for Chelsea at the moment. Looks like they've ridden out that particular dangerous wave. Determined to play out, and that's been very neatly done.
Chelsea been very consistent with their approach, possession at all times, and fair play to them. Again, they're all committed to this, and it's a message from the manager. It's something they've worked on ever since they've been there, and that's what they continue to do, even if it, from our end, looks like it could be dangerous at times.
One day, presuming he's given the chance, but one day Mark Skinner will get the better of Chelsea. Not yet in the Barclays Women's Super League. Long time ago, the former Chelsea captain Casey Stoney was in charge of Manchester United. Came Skinner, and the remit was to break into the top 3. Certainly done that. And then had a dip, then got it back on track last term, and an understandable dip this time around. Had to qualify for the Champions League, even had to have playoffs to get into the round of 16, the quarterfinals, excuse me. Captain clipping Ziggy Otti there. Oh, I bet she'd love to have her time again and just have a go.
Absolutely, but those are those little fine margins, a little bit decision. You have to make split-second decisions in football, and unfortunately, I'm sure she would love that one back and do it differently next time around.
Mallard, 2 for company. Oh, it's tight. The 2 have done their job. There's not been a sniff of a chance for Sam Kerr yet. United far more of the ball in the second half than they had in the first. I just wonder, normally Sonia Bonpastor, you know, a centre forward would not finish a game typically. Most coaches wouldn't necessarily leave their centre forward on for all 90 minutes. today's got to be a bit different,
Yeah.
though, hasn't it? I mean, especially given that effectively the result here is, I mean, it's not an irrelevance, but you know what I mean. I wonder. There'd be a few boos probably, wouldn't there, if the number 20 went up before time?
I expected to play the full game, especially on the verge of setting the all-time Chelsea goal-scoring record. You have to do that. There would be no way to take her off unless you really, really have to.
I suppose if she gets one now, then that's fine. You can take her off.
That's
She can get her own.
That's
She can get her own fanfare and her own little personal farewell. But that's
Make sure she gets a standing ovation.
well, she's come alive in the box now as Carpenter, a fellow Aussie, tries to pick her out, and it nearly dropped for Thompson, and Gabby George away. We got half an hour to go here, and it's still one very, very fine Sam Kerr goal to nil in Chelsea's favour.
And I have to say, if it ends up being that goal, the winning goal, it's a goal worthy of winning any game.
They have only kept one clean sheet in their last 9 matches in all competitions, Chelsea. That's highly unusual, that. Were they to concede in this game, it'd be the first time in 11 years Chelsea have conceded in 6 straight league games. Yeah, she was on, no doubt about it, Ellie Carpenter. And Sam Kerr in the middle there. Head in hands, but not ball in net. Oh, it nearly squeezed through. Great hold-up play. Proper number 9 stuff from Chelsea's number 20. Here's the number 10, Lauren James. I think Tully's Choice probably had it covered, but it's a decent strike.
Really is, and we talk about possession football. Sometimes Route 1 or more direct, there's nothing wrong with that. And when you have a player like Sam Kerr up there, who's not only a fantastic finisher, but also her general play, hold-up play is fantastic, brings other players into play. And right there, Lauren James just straight in for a chance and a shot on goal. And Lauren James, anywhere within 20-25 yards, you fancy her to have a go, and she did once again. And no matter what, how many times she misses or scores, she's going to continue to shoot and give it a go.
As deadly from long range as anyone in the game. That little spell from Chelsea, it's just come off the back of what we thought might be the start of a little spell from Manchester United. It hasn't quite turned out that way.
Chelsea have certainly survived a little bit of an onslaught first 10-15. You expected Man United to have a bit of a reaction. A very quiet first time from their whole team, and they had a reaction the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, and Chelsea have survived, and maybe they've seen off and ridden the storm, but I wouldn't count out Man United just yet.
Can't just let them knock it around. Gonna have to at some point put the squeeze on. Van Gaheim at least doing it to Buchanan here. He's shrugged her off pretty comfortably. Cuthbert cut out by Rolfo. There's Park. Miyazawa. It's nicely worked into Ziggiotti. Now Mallard, and Lundqvist bombing up outside her. Come the other way. Letizia stepping up. I have to move it quickly though. Chelsea are organised in there. It's just forcing United back. Patience.
It is a bit of patience, yeah, and I think they've been able to string a bit of possession together, Man United, which has helped with the flow of the game. I think even the first half they haven't been able to get a hold of the ball, whereas now they're getting a bit more control, making Chelsea defend and giving them just a little bit more control of the game.
Waiting for a gap to come, giving it back a bit cheaply there. Charles into Thompson. It's good hold-up play, especially for one so physically small.
No, she's been very impressive today. Really good all-around player. Direct when she gets the ball, attacks players, runs in behind as well. I've seen a couple of really nice runs from her in behind. But also when she needs to hold the ball and keep play taken over, she does that as well.
Toon thought about the shot, lays it off for Mallard instead. It's a slice, and it's another good opportunity that Manchester United haven't taken.
Really is, and it's 2 times now Chelsea have been sloppy. Lauren James on this occasion giving the ball away rather cheaply. We saw Keira Walsh earlier get caught in the ball, and this is the biggest danger for Chelsea, is to get a little bit complacent, a little bit too comfortable, and give Man United that chance in the break.
And still, Hannah Hampton, very little work to do today. Perfectly fluid movement there from Ella Toon. Is she okay? That's what they're going to find out now, I guess. Lucy Prons, one of the many out of contract at Chelsea. Natalie Bjorn next to her there, who's had a bit of a time with injuries for sure. And another defensive option next to them there, Naomi Girma. Now, is this one of those tactical ones?
I was just about to say, what do we think? I've been put in that position a couple of times, not very fun.
What, where you've been told to?
Yeah.
You're saying it happens? It's
does.
not real?
It does, yeah, the truth, here we go.
I mean, it's a strange thing. I think the answer's fairly simple, isn't it? If they want it to stop, you just say, OK, that's fine, keeper can have treatment, everyone in the centre circle. Well, that happens. And then we'll see how many goalies go down.
To be fair, this might look a little bit more serious than I thought originally.
Well, Olivia Peng is having a jog. Has played a fair few games, actually. Hannah Hampton missed a chunk around Christmas time. Well, there you go. One on target. And that won't include the one that comes off the post.
The one shot on target, as we saw earlier from Jess Park, was very comfortable for Hannah Hampton, and that end product from Man United, you see a little bit of difference. I mean, yeah, in any game, and you see the players of quality, the likes of a Sam Kerr, who can make that difference, and that's why those number 9s are worth their weight in gold, and they can always make something happen out of nothing. And of course, I think Man United, for the chances they've had, a couple of chances here and there, a couple of half chances, would have liked a little bit more for sure.
Is she going to get another chance? She's already lit up a pretty quiet match, to be fair, with that moment of magic. Fran Kirby has company at the very top of the Blues podium. Two goals for Russo and one for Mariona Caldente have Arsenal still in firm control of their match at Liverpool, 3-0. So there's no Chelsea scoreline here that can give the Blues second place. It was just that little autumn run of draws, the shock home defeat to Everton, and then when they needed it, and they so often produce, Chelsea, and always have done in recent years, back-to-back games against Arsenal and Man City, and Chelsea lost them both, and that was basically it. You have a fortnight like that, you don't recover in a certainly in the 22-game season.
The margin for error is very small, isn't it? I think that when you have 22 games, I think you have to be on top of it all the time. There's a level of urgency, and if you don't get those little games, those games go your way sometimes, then it can be very difficult.
An extra 4 for everyone next term.
I think it's been great. I mean, I have to say, from an outsider looking in, I think the growth of the Barclays Women's Super League has been absolutely incredible to watch. My 2 daughters are into it, and I've taken them to a couple games here and there, and they absolutely love the experience. So, really big fan of the league, and it's great to see the growth.
And not that Chelsea fans have thanked me for this. Probably not a bad thing to have a different name on the trophy this term, and the more contenders, the better, right? Everyone wants competition, whatever your sport, it's good for it. And well, Brighton and Tottenham will be interesting to watch next term to see if they can. I mean, everyone will be trying to do it, but to close the gap on what is perceived to be a fairly rock-solid top 4, it's just a case of the order. We'll see. Let's see. Manchester United won't have Europe, so that will make them the stronger for that in league terms, you would think. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a good campaign in BWSL terms, United next term. We'll see. Go with the layoff straight to Letitia. Well, doing well, strong, Toon.
Ella Toon, we haven't seen much of her today, have we? I think she's been on that end where she's maybe a little bit disappointing, but you know, as a player of her quality, we want to try and get her involved, and she can also make the difference.
Cuthbert thought about the early pass to Kerr. Berman. Buchanan will be raring to go for a full season after such a long layoff. So another Carpenter cross, and that one did take a touch on the way through. James, the short option, bending it in brilliantly. Oh, Kerr! Twice! I think the flag's gone up anyway, so it probably wouldn't have counted.
What a moment. What a moment. Oh, could have been so close. So close.
It's another great ball, isn't it? Well, she's on.
Doesn't look offside in the first one, does she?
All I can say is it's a good job she didn't put that in, because if she stuck that in and it was flagged offside, then to be found to be wrong, it's a good stop, isn't it?
Really good save from Tiller's choice, absolutely, to make that first save. Yeah, those fine margins. She was definitely in a good position, and what a ball again by Lauren James. I mean, that's the quality that she has, and multiple times now in this game provided incredible service for the attacking players.
Well, I'm sure there'll have been many Frank Kirby goals that might have been as well. I was just thinking the other day, Sam Kerr got a couple in the win over Everton. And there was one for a hat-trick, if I remember correctly. I think it would have been her third, where it really looked like the ball had gone over the line and it wasn't given. At the time, you wondered if it might make a difference. Well, maybe so now. Is it obviously no technology in the BWSL yet? That should have been 3 for Kerr on the day. She'd already be there. Thompson. Into Captine. There's Maya Letitia. It'll be another Chelsea corner. It's short again. To James again. Almost always it's a testing delivery of some sort from Lauren James.
No, it really is. I mean, her quality really is shown through the roof today, and I think, yeah, it's a delight and it's a luxury to have players like her on your team, and they can really make the difference. And I think she's been absolutely quality today. I think Chelsea have overall in the last 10-15 minutes really taken charge of that game again. We talked about the first spell from Man United, but they've not been able to sustain that pressure for a longer period.
Here's Charles, slips her marker. Here's Captain Cuthbert. Lundqvist clipping it up there. Buchanan strong as ever. Thompson. Another corner, pressure building, and it is noticeable, as they are often told to do, centre forwards, that Sam Kerr is staying within the width of that 6-yard box at all points.
Oh, she's not moving. She's waiting for that right service, and rightly so, rightly so.
Maggie Beaver-Jones is coming soon, although not for Kerr, we're hearing, as Berman takes it short again. Lauren James curls one. Oh, it looked good, didn't it? The minute it left her boot, it looked really good.
Lauren James always looking to make something happen. This time she's gone for goal rather than a cross, and great handling by Tullis Joyce.
But now, Mallard trying to make something happen. Jess Park is in the middle. Mallard's looking for her. It nearly squeezed its way through. Kira Walsh on the cover does the necessary.
Fantastic tracking back by Kira Walsh. That's a long run from your own attacking corner to be able to then clear the ball and snuff out of danger. She's at the edge of the box for the attacking corner, and she sprinted 70-80 yards to make the difference, so credit to her.
So Lauren James makes way. Aggie Beaver-Jones, her replacement. It's such a great start to the season and such a quiet second half. Not always been fit, in fairness to Aggie. But after that real breakthrough regular starting campaign a lot last term. Goals in her first 4 starts this season, then really quietened off. Now, suddenly Rolfo is in behind Thompson. And young Berman again showing positional wisdom beyond her years. And Liverpool have got one back at home to Arsenal. 3 more goals in 10 minutes? Probably not. Leah Schuller, Dominic Janssen coming soon. Well, a tune, kind of down and then was down. Anything in this? So, Julie Ziggiotti off, and Ellen Vangerheim is going to be coming off as well. Well, she had that big chance. Little hesitant, and then the pass, and it didn't quite work. But a very good first season back in England for Julia Ziggiotti, previously at Brighton, but with Bayern Munich in between, it's been really good. And Dominic Janssen's been really good for a long time. And a straight swap up top. Vangerheim has run around plenty and has hit the post with a header. But, her wait for a first Man United goal will go on into next season. And Leah Schuller, surprisingly, only has one. That was in the Cup. Hasn't scored in the Barclays Women's Super League since joining, for someone so prolific for club and country prior. It's a strange one. 9 minutes and stoppage time to go here. Mark Skinner making changes 3 and 4. Determined stuff from Thompson. And a clever pass as well. Mallard away from Cuthbert. Little drop of the shoulder. Beaver Jones came back. Here's Jess Park. Tissier. Ooh, tight one, just as Chelsea were thinking about the counter.
That's a dangerous position now. Not a position where you want to give away a free kick, especially this time of the game. But I've been super impressed with Maya Letizia. She's been able to, even on the ball, get in a more advanced position as well. Very comfortable. You can see why she plays every single minute of every game. I mean, she's their key player, their captain, and fantastic all-around footballer.
Got a rare break on England duty. Didn't play against Iceland or Spain. Must have been very strange for her to be sitting on a bench. Now, Dominic Janssen, what you got? Straight off the bench, straight into the thick of it here. Or will it be a left boot of Rolfo? What's the plan? Could be the blind side, I suppose, but most obviously a left footer. What's Hampton showing them, I wonder?
A couple of bodies around the back post as well.
And Janssen got plenty of bend on that. Oohs and ahs. I'm not sure how close it was in the end, but Hannah Hampton certainly wasn't moving here.
Well, always an interesting one when you go goalkeeper's side. Sometimes you catch the goalkeeper off guard, especially if the goalkeeper is to maybe move or gamble for that shot behind the wall. So you can see the logic behind it, and don't think she was a million miles off.
Just north of 15,000 inside Stamford Bridge. Let's see. We'll look with interest how that moves next season when it's a permanent thing. Here's Rolfo. That's dangerous, and it's just drifted past everybody.
That's a very dangerous ball. Talk about Lauren James doing this a lot for Chelsea. Well, Rolfo's come in again inside on her right foot from the left side and put it just in a very teasing area, and that's why you need a centre forward, just to gamble and think the ball's going to be there, anticipate that ball in and be at the end of it to finish it.
Since the start of 23-24, Mark Skinner and his United team have won 1 out of 17 league matches against the fellow big clubs up there, Chelsea, Arsenal, City. And that is 15 points fewer than the next worst, if you like, in that regard, Man City. 30 points fewer than Arsenal, 33 fewer than Chelsea. That's why the bread and butter against everyone else, no problem. That's a good ball. Good header as well from Gabby George. You know who, Sam Kerr was lurking behind.
Yeah, she was, absolutely. She's desperate to get that record.
Captain's pulled it here. Well, we all know goal scorers are greedy, but if you're not going to have that record on your own, to level it and to do so with a great goal, that is the winner in your final match. That's a pretty good second, isn't it?
Good one, yeah, absolutely. I do wonder, I know it's hypothetically speaking, if there was a penalty, I do wonder who's going to take it for Chelsea, right?
Surely there's only one answer. I've seen Cuthbert take them, and actually, It was always Guro Wrighton, and then it was Sandy Baltimore. Obviously, one has departed, one is not on the field. Yeah, try standing in the way of Sam Kerr. Well, at any point, but certainly not if somebody points to the spot. Here's Janssen, Manchester United, trying to get a late leveller. They've had their hearts broken by Chelsea enough times with late goals over the years. Mallard into Schuller. Finally, the ball sits down. She's quite the scrapper, isn't she, Alyssa Thompson? Despite being, you know, physically more slight than most of those around her.
Certainly is. Very feisty, aggressive for him, a player. I mean, on and off the ball. Definitely not afraid to get stuck in and mix it up. And, you know, it's really good to see. Chelsea being very professional with their approach to seeing this game out. I know we're looking at Sam Kerr, maybe looking to get that record for the most amount of goals scored, but I think they're very professional with seeing the game out here and trying to keep things or any danger from Man United to an absolute minimum.
Deep cross. Kerr nodding it down. And then skying it. Will she get another sight? There's a minute and stoppage time to go.
You know, I actually think she might be disappointed with this because it ended up being a bit of a better chance than she probably hoped. Leaning back a little bit, and then once you lean back, there's only one way the ball's going to go, and that's up. I think she had a little bit more time than she thought she did.
Buchanan trying a cheeky bit of disguise on that pass. Dominic Janssen wasn't falling for it, and here is Janssen again. Toon. Puts it back neatly. Here's Schuller. Joined from Bayern and then was knocked out by them in the Champions League. Letitia taking a bit of a chance, and Maggie Beaver-Jones didn't fall for it. England colleagues there. Six minutes of stoppage time before the season is done. These two met in the League Cup final in the last 16 of the FA Cup. Chelsea prevailed on both occasions. There was something Man United shaped standing in their way on all fronts, and we really did think as we approached the final few weeks of the campaign that this was going to be, you know, winner takes all maybe for Europe. But Manchester United just running out of gas, as we know, and well, looking like they haven't quite got it in the tank to grab something here, but who knows. Letitia. It's a nice ball. Rolfo. George to Janssen, and Rolfo again. No space on the left. What about the right? Lundqvist.
I think when you look at Man, it sums up, probably this action sums up Man United today. Just not quite that cutting edge at the top end of the pitch. Someone who's going to get the end of the ball, the service, and that's been the difference. And we talk about Sam Kerr being one of the best all-time BWSL strikers. She certainly made the difference. won't get tired of looking at this goal. What an absolute finish of the highest order.
Heck of a hit. Heck of a strike up for club and country. Well, Hannah Hampton, whatever was irking her earlier, still is, and we're going to have an extension to stoppage time here. Looks like a change of goalkeeper for the Blues.
Must certainly be a serious issue to come out at this time of the game. Normally for 4 or 5 minutes to go, you can see it through. So something must definitely be bothering her.
Well, new keepers, you have to be ready. First minute of a season in case, or last minute of a season, right?
I'll tell you
Olivia
what.
Peng would not have been thinking she's playing
No.
for 3 minutes here.
Absolutely, and I think Olivia Peng is never going to be easy to come into this position. Tell you what, it's middle of May, so it's not the worst time. Sit there for 90+ minutes in the middle of January, then it becomes a lot more difficult as well. So hopefully she'll be a little bit more ready to go at this stage, but never an easy position for any goalkeeper.
Had a little run, 9 starts pre-Christmas when Hannah Hampton had a little injury. And she is the international Swiss #1. But, more than capable understudy, would be starting for most teams, but Chelsea aren't most teams. And Sandy Baltimore is also going to be coming on. And so is Elizabeth Turland for Manchester United from the looks of things. Well, Turland overall is their top scorer, but she's been prolific in Europe and a little light in the BWSL. But she is on. There she is. That's their top league scorer last term with 9, just 6 in the BWSL this term, but 15 all in, thanks to the Champions League prolific campaign. Maybe getting closer to 100 minutes here, I think. Right then, Sam Kerr, the number is up to get her own farewell, I guess. And the cameras are on the keeper. Well, now they're on the superstar striker, who will be much missed, and her goals will not be easily replaced, Asmit.
Absolutely not, and what a fitting send-off. Absolutely right. A nice touch from Sonia Pastores to get her off and give her a standing ovation for everything she's done for this football club and her contributions, and of course her fantastic goal today. So she absolutely deserved this nice little ovation and send-off.
As things stand, she is the match winner. Ann Thompson replaced by Sandy Baltimore there, and Myra Ramirez, not seen since having hamstring surgery the back end of the summer. As a reminder of the firepower Chelsea have at some points this season, even with quite a large injury list. Make a pretty good team out of those who don't play on a weekly basis. She's obviously been one of them.
And fully fit, she'll be like a new signing for Chelsea going into next season, right? So, and I think that'll be a huge addition, because if you know you've missed it from the majority of this season.
And maybe it'll be Bunny Shaw for competition, maybe it won't, but with Sam Kerr departing after 6 great seasons, there's no way they're not going to invest in another forward, whether it's Shaw or somebody different. Here's Beaver Jones, who wants to be part of that conversation. She knows how it is at the top. She was a multiple winner as a player and then has been as a coach. As we said earlier, used to the highest standards, and her team have, for whatever reason, just fallen a bit short of those standards this term. So ready to come back harder and stronger next time around, I'm sure. Will that be allowed by the other rivals? Let's see what happens. Laetitia here, heading it forward. We're well into added time upon added time here. Manchester United still in the contest.
Manchester United need some bodies in the box. They need to get the ball in the box.
Laetitia here. Toon showed a bit of it to Cuthbert, and that's usually enough. Ooh, free kick, Manchester United. It's probably a bit too far out for a shot.
Interesting call. I actually thought it was going to go the other way.
Me too. I think that might be the point that Chelsea's coach is making down there. Well, not a great angle for delivery, as they always say. Too straight for that.
It's also not a bad time to test the goalkeeper. She's been sitting on the bench for 90+ minutes.
They've gone short. It's going to have to come in now from Toon, and it does. Everyone back in a very crowded box. Jess Park shouting for a hand there on Ramirez. Jess Park has just out-muscled Myra Ramirez. That takes some doing. And she's done brilliantly to get that cross in. And Peng has had to make a save. Turner got a little header on it. What a cross from Park.
Hey, what Jess Park has been super impressive. Incredible strength on the sideline to get past Myra Ramirez, and then to get the ball into a crowded area where he said get bodies in there, and it's caused a lot of confusion, issues, and Livia Peng very decisive in her decision making and gets the ball away.
Kira Walsh absolutely having it. Really latest of late pushes there from Manchester United, and Tullis Joyce is up. And now she's being spoken to, and she's being carded.
Could it be the goalkeeper scoring an equaliser? Could it be?
Well, only the best keepers can find the net themselves. United is right on top of Chelsea's here. And still we go on. 100 on the clock at Stamford Bridge as Manchester United look for a last gasp equaliser in the final seconds of the Barclays Women's Super League season. Oh, come on, let's get on with this, shall we? Yellow card for the Blues coach, who doesn't look overly fussed about it. It's an end-of-season party in the 6-yard box. Everybody's invited.
This is it. All comes down to this.
Needs a good delivery. And it looks like it is one. Oh, it did, but it had too much bend on it.
That's the last thing you want, is not to test them and get the ball into an area. That's about putting the ball in an area, putting in the mixer, as we say.
Even if you have to hang it in there, you've got to make sure it is in there somehow.
These are the fine margins. We've seen Man United just be on the wrong end today.
That will probably be that for them. Peng goes long. Miyazawa. One last chance to launch it, maybe. That's great from Cuthbert. Park. Well, surely this is it. We have had plenty of stoppage during the stoppage time. Park again. And still maybe. Walsh got a piece of it. Miyazawa into Park. As Letitia slings it in. That's good from Baltimore. But Chelsea can't quite clear their lines at the moment. Letitia. And that's grabbed by Olivia Peng. And that is that. The champions passing on their crown to Manchester City, but finishing at their new home with a win. And what a goal to win it. And what a striker Sam Kerr has been. Jess Park injected something from Manchester United for sure. But a quite brilliant Sam Kerr goal. Her 116th in her 178 Chelsea appearances. Has won this one here. Final score on the final day. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0. Well, do we think the best team won, Asmit?
I think overall, if you look at the 100+ minutes that we had today, I think Chelsea were the better side, had a little bit of extra quality at the right times, especially that magical moment by Sam Kerr. Had a little bit more control of the game, and I think probably had the better chance as well. But there was a couple moments for Manchester United. You can just see lacking a little bit of the quality, cutting edge, the front end of the pitch to make that difference. But you know, all in all, really good game, entertaining game, especially for an end of season game, which sometimes can be a little bit dull. But I thought it was a very interesting game, and you know, Chelsea deserve winners.
Mark Skinner, I'm sure, was saying something along the lines of good luck wherever you go. Thank God you're not scoring any more goals against my team.
Or he could be trying to get it to Manchester United.
Well, maybe.
Let's see. You never know.
That will be interesting. As for the futures of many in this off-season. Well, let's have a look at the full-time numbers then. 13 shots to 11 in Chelsea's favour. Only 6 on target in the whole game. Not a great deal of dribbling. But Gabby George picked up a card. There were a couple of late ones as well when it all got a bit silly near the end. But plenty of hard work and endeavour. And just the one goal. And a very good one it was too. Have a quick recap of the main moments, and that was a back pass that almost saw Lauren James in for an opener, Asmit.
Lauren James, I think, was on the front foot trying to create things for Chelsea all game, and got on the end of this one, which is a little bit fortunate for her, but unfortunately couldn't put it away. But really good save by Tullis Joyce, who stood up well, made herself big, and really strong hand to get it over the bar.
Melvin Mallard with the first real threat for Manchester United here. We were clearly set up to begin with, at least, to be counter-attacking. In keeping with the day, really, not a lot for Hannah Hampton to do.
No, nothing for Hannah Hampton to do. Very comfortable day for her. But I think Mallard was always the one while she was on the pitch to make a difference for Man United. Very powerful, very tricky, and very good attacking player who almost made a difference for them.
Well, this nearly made a flukish difference. It was Ellie Carpenter with one of those slice crosses that you can never set yourself for.
No, you can't, and definitely a good baton. And this is where, as a goalkeeper, and Tullis Joyce is where you're just hoping for anything to make sure the ball doesn't go in, and luckily for her, it didn't go in.
And then this, as it turned out, the match winner. And what a winner.
A goal worth winning any game. Lauren James, just a super player who can put the ball in the right areas, and did that many times in this game. And Sam Kerr, with the quality she has and her runner, her timing, was able to get to the end of it and put an incredible finish on a ball that was just waiting to be finished and put in such a delightful area.
Such a great hit. Ellen Vangerheim got the nod to come in today and is still waiting for her first Man United goal. She thought she might be on the end of that first ball, but she certainly got on the end of this Jess Park cross, and that was unlucky.
Really was. Jess Park, I mean, what an inspired substitution with Mark Skinner at halftime, putting her on. She really changed the game for Man United, especially in those first 15-20 minutes of the second half. Puts an unbelievable ball in for Mangham, and just hasn't been quite going for her this season, and she wasn't able to get that one into the goal.
And here's a big moment. Ziggiotti pinching it off Kira Walsh. That hesitation that I guess she thought she's going to be caught by Berman, so she went for the pass and then probably wishes she hadn't.
We saw a couple of sloppy moments for Chelsea in the middle of that second half where they were, a little bit casual in possession, and Ziggiotti almost made him pay on this one, and almost the ball went to the wrong person. Maybe you would have liked it to go to a more attacking player who would have been a little bit more decisive with that movement.
Brilliant hold-up play there from Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr showing off all her skills, not only her goal scoring today, but her all-around play, I think, was absolutely spot on, bringing the likes of Lauren James into the game. And Lauren James will always shoot on sight, and I think, yeah, on another day that goes in, but almost troubled the Man United goalkeeper.
And again, that connection, James to Kerr. Now the flag went up here, but she was on. It's a heck of a save from Tallis Joyce, and it's a good job she did save it, I think, all things considered.
Absolutely, an incredible piece of skill for Sam Kerr to tie the all-time Chelsea goal-scoring record, and almost here was able to get one more and get that record, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be.
It's a pretty frantic finish. Jess Park to get that ball, win it and cross it that well was superb. Turlin's header, and Olivia Peng, the sub-keeper, did have something to do, Asmi.
She really did. I mean, very difficult position to come into a game 90 plus minutes later after you've been sitting on the bench, and a very tricky moment. A lot of people, crowded area. She made a really decisive motion. They got the ball out of danger, and fair play to her.
So 1-0 to Chelsea. There's been a few of those this term. Elsewhere, the battle to be the best of the rest between, should I say, beneath the expected top four has ended up being between Brighton and Tottenham. Well, Spurs won by 2-1 at Brighton today. Leicester were looking for a little bit of momentum to take into their playoff. They did not find it away to Everton, who have been better under new management this second half of the season. 1-0 Everton in that one. Arsenal 3 up in no time at Liverpool. Liverpool got one back, but that is how that one has finished. London City Lionesses, on their debut campaign in the Barclays WSL, ends with a 2-1 home win over Aston Villa. That's a good first season for them. And the champions, Manchester City, finishing in style with a 4-1 win away at West Ham. And so that's the final table. Leicester well adrift, and then quite a tight bunch, and then a bit of a gap. But Manchester United, we knew, would be finishing fourth. Arsenal do get the automatic spot ahead of Chelsea, who will have to qualify, and it's not just one game or one tie, it's a few games in the summer. So Arsenal and City straight into the league phase of the Champions League. Chelsea have to qualify, and, Leicester have to qualify to be a top-flight club again next term. They play Charlton Athletic a week today in a one-off game. Over pictures or over this? And so that is that for the Barclays Women's Super League and for Sam Kerr at Chelsea. She leaves in fine fashion from Ben Andrews and Asmir Begovic and all at the BWSL. It's goodbye.